I'm in a financial position where whatever I want to have, I can have it without a doubt. I want checkers.
My goal has been, how do we go in these neighborhoods? How do we buy the block?
And what's really inspiring is that you two are really preaching about buying back the block when you guys are actually
buying the hood, man. Building something nice in the hood. You love your hood, buy your hood.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Orlando, and today we're talking about why your favorite rapper isn't buying back the block. So we see this. I see this all the time. Buy back the block, buy back the block, buy back the block, buy back the hood. If we just get a big group of us to buy back the hood, then everything will be okay. Well, I'm here to explain to you why some of our biggest and wealthiest entrepreneurs in our community, how come they aren't buying back the hood? How come they aren't buying back the block? So let's talk about that. Well, buying back the block has this storyline, and this story is an old story. It's the old Robin Hood story, guys. The old Robin Hood story where you have someone who has taken from the rich and giving back to the poor, and then the poor all of a sudden reinvest this money, and voila, everybody is prosperous. That is the story. That is the basic storyline of what buying back the block is. Taking something that is negative, meaning the area is not desirable, no one really wants to live there, and sticking it to someone, right? Sticking it to someone and saying, no, guess what? This area is now way more valuable, but we own it. We own this area. And that's what buying back the block is. And that is the story, and that is the goal of buying back the block. But it does not always work out that way. So let's get into the intricacies. Well, but first, let's talk about what some of your rappers have said. Let's go start with Jay-Z. Jay-Z, now I'm not going to put the video where he's doing this freestyle. Now the freestyle is the Nipsey Hussle freestyle. I'm not going to put the video because I'll get copyrighted, but here are the lyrics that I want you to really focus on. It says, gentrifying your own hood before these people do it. Claim eminent domain and have your own people moving. That's a small glimpse into what Nipsey was doing. For anybody that's still confused as to what he was doing, the neighborhood is designed to keep us trapped. They redline us so properties decline if you live by blacks. They depress assets and take the property back. That's a ruthless but genius plan in fact. Now let's look at these lyrics, right? Okay, so he says at the beginning, he says, gentrify your own hood before these people do. What he is saying is basically take back or buy back the block, but he's not giving you the detail. In our community, most people believe buying back the block is just that. Like you can literally get enough money and just buy the houses from the banks or buy the houses and own them yourself, and that is it. So a lot of times people are listening to these lyrics and they are taking it exactly literally. Buy back the hood, and not really understanding the economics of a neighborhood. You have to understand supply and demand. You have to understand what makes the economy in a neighborhood work. He says, they redline us so property declines if you're black. So what he means is that people leave that area and then the other area becomes more valuable, right? It becomes more valuable, and our community is left in an area that properties are declining. But we're gonna get back to that just remember what I just said. White people have left that area and we are left with properties that are declining. Okay, so remember I said that. Okay, he says they depress the asset and then take the property back. It's a ruthless but genius plan in fact. He is basically saying it's a good old situation of buying a property that is low and then all of a sudden it becomes more valuable, right? So they're leaving the property, the property value, it goes down, and then all of a sudden they come back in and then they build it back up, but they bought it at that low price and then it becomes more valuable. That's what he's talking about. And then I want to scroll down here to the very end, and it says, and we ain't gotta leave the hood physically, but we have to leave that mentally. So that is a mental state that Jay-Z is talking about. So let's talk about that. A lot of times, especially in my last video, people say that they feel more comfortable in the hood. A lot of people want to stay in the hood. A lot of people have no problem living in the hood and being there forever. No matter if they make millions of dollars or not, they want to stay in the hood. And that is your prerogative to do that. But once again, I think if you look at this lyric, that is exactly what Jay-Z is talking about. We have to get out of this mindset of hood mentality, right? Hood mentality. So that's what these lyrics are talking about. Now we're going on to other individuals like Rick Ross or Lil Baby or some of your other bigger rappers. And we're talking about why aren't they taking all of their millions and in some instances billions of dollars and just buying back blocks in the hood and just revamping those homes and everybody will flourish, right? They can become the lender, they can become the bank, they can start renting out to units to people in the hood, and all of a sudden that area will be it will skyrocket, right? That is what people think of when they think, why aren't these guys giving back? Why aren't they spending all of their millions and billions to do something like that? Jay-Z should go into New York and buy back everything, right? Just buy back everything. Just start running, all of the properties, fix them up, and then allow those same people to live there at the same price, and everything will change, right? Well, guys, listen. There's a reason why these guys are doing that, because they understand something that you don't, right? They understand something that you think that you could just buy and use money to buy back the hood or buy back the block and everything will be better. But let me tell you what, guys, there is an economy to any neighborhood, and it starts with jobs. If you have a place, and let's just start with a circle here. Jobs are in the middle. And then branching out from jobs is individuals can afford houses. Then branching out from that is their kids go to great schools. And then property taxes pay for those great schools, right? And then on top of that, other businesses want to provide those homes, a place to eat, a place for their kids to, jump around on trampolines. And then the city wants to, they're making money on taxes, so they want to build parks for the kids to go to, which brings more people to the area to want to live, which brings more property tax in the area. But you see what I'm saying? I could go on and on forever, but it's a whole economy. More businesses will then come to the area and flood the area and want to be a part of that community because there's money in that community. But it all starts with good, high-paying jobs. But what makes a company want to bring their company to an area that has great, high-paying jobs? They want individuals that have education. They want people to have science degrees, accounting degrees, tech jobs. All of those things, that's what the companies want. Those are the high-paying jobs, the Amazons, the Googles, even the Fords, the GMs. All of these jobs are becoming hugely computer-based jobs, even the big labor jobs that had an assembly line before that were extremely manual and had a lot of labor. Those jobs are now handled by computers, and they need techs to control the arm that puts the door on the car. They need, engineers to do design work. They need all of those things that we talk about in the STEM program. That's what companies need. And that's what drives companies to areas. They want a diverse group of individuals to do the job, to make their products, to make them make millions and millions of dollars. And Jay-Z, Rick Ross, all these other guys understand that, guys. They understand that if you just pump money into the hood, if you pump money into buying back the block, it won't make a difference. It won't make a little bit of difference other than you giving charity to individuals to stay in their homes. They understand that. They understand if Jay-Z put $1 billion into buying back blocks and then he left rent at the same level that it was before, he's just giving away $1 billion. It doesn't bring jobs into the area. It doesn't bring companies to come in and to want to be in that area. It does none of that. So what am I saying? It takes more than 10 investors. It takes more than 20 investors. It takes more than, one person with $1 billion. It takes more than that one person or that 20 investors that 20 investors to lift up a neighborhood to where it becomes a buying back the block situation where you turn around an area that was bad, and bringing that up to a level where everyone wants to live in that area. And it starts with education and starts with individuals learning STEM jobs and degrees and understanding that education will bring people to the neighborhood and bring businesses, entrepreneurship. There's just so many arms that go to this, and one person, 2 people, 3 people are going to solve this problem. So when you see a Jay Morrison or someone who's popular, or Jay-Z or a Rick Ross or someone like that, if they ever say buy back the block, just understand that Jay Morrison probably means buy back the block.
1, 2, 3, buy back the block!
He literally means he wants to spend money to buy back the block, not understanding that it's going to take more than money to make that hood or that block that he's buying back successful. It's going to take more than money, guys. More than money. But when you see guys like Jay-Z and Rick Ross, and you think, what are they talking about? They're talking about building an actual community, bringing businesses in, educating the people in the community, those things. That is the reason why Rick Ross will put a Wingstop in a bad neighborhood, but he won't invest in buying a bunch of homes in that area and redoing it and spending millions and millions of dollars, because he knows and he understands bringing businesses into the area and then building from that point, it works. Look at Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson will do the exact same thing. He won't buy a bunch of houses and rebuild them. What will he do? He'll bring a theater to a hood or an area and then start by hiring those people in the community at that theater and then branching out from there and then starting from that level. It is super hard to start it out with just buying houses and thinking that if you go ahead and you make and you paint the neighborhood and you paint the hood, all good colors and put new flooring and everything in it, it's still the hood, guys. It's still the hood. So I hope you got value out of this video. I need you to click this next video here. This next video here will help you get into real estate, help you get into your first rental property, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.